Bitcoin went down to the weekly fair value gap, and now Nasdaq is squeezing itself up to all-time high. But do we need a correction here? Dollar index have been falling down from this supply zone. And what I think now is, my name is Hassan. I've been trading and investing for over 8+ years. And here we focus on technical analysis and logics and leave out the emotions. Let's start with the calendar of the week. So we have CPI on Wednesday. This is Swedish time, what you see on the screen. So we have CPI on Wednesday, which is a red folder news we should focus on. And then also PPI on Thursday. These are the most important news for the week, in my opinion. And be careful with your trades exactly when they release the news. If we have a look at the earnings calendar, nothing special on Monday. Tuesday, GameStop releases their report. Wednesday, nothing special in my opinion. We have Adobe on Thursday, and then Friday, nothing special. What I often look for is Nvidia, Tesla, these tech companies that often move the market when they release their reports. But none of them have their report this week, so let's head into the Fear and Greed Index. We are still in greed in S&P 500, which tells us there is more room to go up. Because before seeing a huge correction in the market, I want to see the market be extremely greedy. And there is more room for that. If we look at the Fear and Greed Index on Bitcoin, we can see we are in the middle part here, the neutral part. And there is still much room to go for extreme greed, which in turn tells me that there is more room in the Bitcoin chart to go up. You can see here, when we reach this highly extreme greedy territory, it is often there we put the high and then make a correction down to the fear or extreme fear area. Same here, extreme greed, and then the high in Bitcoin came up later. And then we went down to extreme fear. And now we were up on all-time high in Bitcoin, but still there is more room to go, which is telling me most probably we haven't put the top in Bitcoin right now. If we look at the liquidation index here in Bitcoin, you can see these green candles, and these are telling us that a lot of long positions have been liquidated, which often give us a sign that we are coming close to a pivot point in the market. And in this case, we see a lot of liquidations of longs, so the pivot point we are looking for is most probably a bottom. If we look at the Bitcoin chart, you can see I have marked out this weekly fair value gap, this imbalance, and we have just touched it and reacted from it. And if we go down to the daily chart, we can actually see the reaction up is quite similar to the reaction down, which increases the probabilities of being a manipulation down to liquidate longs and then go up. What I want to see now is a daily candle close above the bodies here. If I see that, then that is a sign of strength to aim for even higher levels. And what you can also think of is, look at this, look at the market structure. Lower highs, lower lows. If we can start seeing higher high, higher low, then this is increasing the probabilities of going even higher. That is just a small input from my side. Of course, we can trade this in lower time frames, but this is just showing my bias for you, so it becomes easier for you to build up your trades. Because in the beginning, it's always about the bias. If you have a good bias, then it becomes easier to build up a trading plan and execute in the market. If we have a look at Nasdaq, we can see that we have a gap here, and it is squeezing itself up like this, and people often see this as a ending pattern or something like that, that this is the end game. But from my experience, often when we see this, I see this as a sign of building up in order to take out a high. For example, this high, which is all-time high. So every down move here, in my opinion, is just a manipulation to trick people out and then attack all-time high. And if we go down to lower time frames, you can actually see that we accumulate a lot of liquidity in this manipulation, and then we go up. And then we see here a correction, a lot of liquidity. We accumulate it here, and then we go up. And in this case, not so clear compared to these two accumulations here. But still, we can see that we are in a demand zone like this. And every down move here, you can see it as an opportunity to aim for higher highs and just live on this trend. And as soon as you get down moves, see them as manipulations in order to trick people out of their positions and then distribute the chart even higher. I'm bullish on Nasdaq, aiming for all-time highs and even higher levels, and you can see every down move as an opportunity to aim for that level. We can also have a look at the dollar index. We can see this supply zone I've been showing you earlier. We have been reacting very beautifully from it, and I'm aiming still to a new low, which means if we are aiming for lower lows in dollar index, it means aiming for higher highs in, for example, Euro USD. That helps me to build a bias in, for example, Euro USD and other charts when I understand the dollar index, because the dollar index is a core chart. You can use it as help to trade a lot of assets, not only Euro USD, for example, GBP USD or gold or even other assets. So it's important for you to understand the DXY, the dollar index. I'm basically seeing all the up moves in the dollar index as manipulations to then aim for this low. As long as we don't start to break above highs and do corrections and break again and build up higher highs and higher lows, I am still bearish on this chart, which means, for example, I should be bullish on Euro USD. So this is the week's market outlook. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next market outlook.